of the heroic acts that were carried out by some members of the California National Guard who first had to evacuate their own homes because of the fires. ABC 7 News anchor Eric Thomas live with their stories. And Eric, they went right back into the fire zone to then help their neighbors and community.
They did, and they had to do that immediately and with a lot on their minds. Number one, would their neighborhood look like this when they came back to it? Number two, could they get their families to safety? And number three, once that happened, how many people could they help? While the Coffee Park fire was leveling entire neighborhoods, Lieutenant Colonel Chris Engel was at his Santa Rosa home on the phone with local and state emergency officials, trying to figure out just how bad things really were.
And that's when the knock came on my door, and we realized that we were in danger of the fire.
He quickly called one of his officers who lives nearby and told him to get out.
Outside of our house, we could see on the horizon it was orange, and that I believe was the Coffee Park location.
Santa Rosa's Coffee Park area was devastated by fire, but the two officers quickly evacuated their wives and kids to the safest place they could think of, the National Guard Armory where they work.
It turns out we were still in the evacuation zone initially.
Both men sent their families to stay with relatives outside the fire zone. Then Engel took command of his 579th Engineer Battalion, reinforced with soldiers from outside the region and outside the state.
We've been assisting with the search and recovery operations. We've been providing decontamination support. We've been manning the evacuation shelters. We've been providing various logistical functions on behalf of the Emergency Operations Center.
My guys are doing really well. They enjoy being out here. They want to be part of the fight, and they're professionals.
Fortunately, the fire never reached their neighborhood, and the officers' families are moving back in today. But there are still 772 guardsmen on duty in the fire zone, many of the out-of-towners bunking here in the armory after long hours on the job. And they get the boss's highest compliment.
They are the bravest people I've ever seen.
If you're going to have a National Guard battalion nearby, this might have been the perfect one. As an engineer unit, they have people who are responsible for building and demolishing buildings and other objects, so they know exactly what goes into that, and that helps with search and rescue. And they also have several military police companies, and they've been working alongside the local police in guarding intersections, guarding evacuations, shelters, and whatever else they need in terms of law enforcement support. Live in Santa Rosa, Eric Thomas, ABC 7 News.